The South Devon Railway is a heritage line running for 10.7 kilometres, or 6.64 miles, from Buckfastleigh to Totnes Riverside, running alongside the River Dart for most of the journey. Indeed, the heritage operation's original name was the Dart Valley Railway. This is a surviving portion of the former Ashburton branch, which opened in 1872 and closed in 1962. But these days, trains can only go as far north as Buckfastleigh, due to the A38 road being built over the old formation to Ashburton. On the day of my visit, the SDR was running a simple timetable comprising 4 trips from Buckfastleigh to Totnes Riverside and back. I had seen on their website that 3 of their steam locomotives are currently operational, and the engine in steam on the day of my visit was Pannier Tank No. 1369. She is the sole surviving example of the GWR 1366 class, of which 6 examples were built at Swindon in 1934. These engines worked in a wide variety of locations throughout their lives, including, but not limited to, the Weymouth Harbour Tramway in Dorset and the Bodmin and Wadebridge Railway in Cornwall. The latter was previously the domain of 3 LSWR BT well tanks. My journey started at Buckfastleigh, where the SDR's headquarters are located. The main yard is home to a sizable collection of vintage steam and diesel locomotives, and there's even a publicly accessible viewing gallery in the workshop, where, on the day of my visit at least, you could find a GWR 1400 class 042 tank number 1420 partway through an overhaul. One locomotive that caught me by surprise was this Class 33 Crompton. 33002 Sea King was built by the Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company in 1959, which makes her 66 years old at the time of uploading. Her original number was D6501, and she had a long service life lasting right up until February 1997, when she was withdrawn from service. 8 years later, in 2005, she was brought to the South Devon Railway for preservation. Meanwhile, the consist of 1369's passenger train was a little bizarre, in the sense that it included diagram A38 auto coach No. 233 Kingfisher and GWR Sunshine BTK coach No. 1645 amongst the usual BR Mark I stock. I was pleasantly surprised to see any coaches in GWR chocolate and cream instead of the same old BR liveries, so I sat aboard 1645 for the journey down to Totnes Riverside, and got a compartment to myself and all. I arrived on the SDR relatively late in the day, and caught the 14:15 service out of Buckfastleigh. It takes around 30 minutes to complete a one-way trip to Totnes Riverside, with a single intermediate stop at Staverton. As for the fares, the adult return ticket cost me £22, or $49.63 NZD, which is much higher than I was expecting. Upon arrival at Totnes Riverside, 1369 was uncoupled and ran around the train for the return trip to Buckfastleigh. The SDR's southern terminus is right next to the South Devon main line, so you can often see GWR or cross-country trains passing by. Totnes Riverside Station didn't exist prior to the start of heritage operations on the Ashburton branch. Initially, a run-round loop was built in 1977, followed by a platform in 1978. Despite the close proximity to the mainline station at Totnes, and the town centre for that matter, it wasn't until 1993 when a footbridge was built to allow public access from Totnes town centre to the Riverside station. The mainline station in Totnes is around a 10-minute walk from the SDR station. We'll take a short break from covering the heritage line for a bit of train spotting at the mainline station, although the footage was recorded earlier in the day, before I went to Buckfastleigh. By chance, one of the units that turned up was 220-005, or as I call her, the Rainbow Voyager. We rejoined 1369 at Totnes Riverside for the 3 PM departure back to Buckfastleigh. This time, I didn't sit in the Great Western Brake coach again, but rather one of the bog-standard Mark I coaches.
This train is now arriving into Buckfastleigh. Alight here for the Railway Museum, gift and model shop, gardens, Riverside Walk, and Dartmoor otters and Buckfast butterflies. If you are leaving the train here, please wait until the carriage has come to a complete stand and is at the platform before opening a door. On leaving the train, please take care and mind the gap between the train and the edge of the platform.
Upon arrival back at Buckfastleigh, I took the opportunity to have a look inside the little museum, which is set up inside the former goods shed. Besides the little Peckett M5 saddle tank, another prominent exhibit is Tiny, a vertical boiler 040 built in 1868. She is the last surviving original locomotive built to Brunel's 7 feet and a quarter inch broad gauge. We'll finish the video by watching 1369 leaving Buckfastleigh on her last round trip of the day. In closing, and despite the rather high ticket price, I still enjoyed my visit to the South Devon Railway, especially since I got to see Pannier Tank 1369 in action, and the good weather only improved the overall experience. For anyone who's interested in visiting the South Devon Railway for themselves, I'll leave a link to their website in the description.
all the rods and fly cranes. See you later, Matt.